Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, June 13, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Freedom from attachment is what gives us tons of extra energy and focus to consciously manifest our desires. Now, once we truly are detached from all fiery desired outcomes, we will never become upset, irritable, and unhappy with this world. Now, it's very important to remember that being detached does not mean being disconnected or not caring about your future. This is a very fine line that we walk, and learning to dance along it is what makes us the master. After the day is done, it all comes down to how deep do you feel connected to this one universal source that is creating who you truly are. Living 24 hours a day from that all-loving space, you won't need to be attached to any outcome to find happiness. You will be the source of happiness itself. Then, manifesting your desires for money, love, car, house, relationship, etc., all occurs effortlessly, on its own accord, because you are at one with the source itself. What creates everything? Whatever we have, whatever we do, whatever we bring into our lives, what creates it? Source. Everything. And what are you? You are source. Isn't it ironic how we fight and claw and pull and tug and doubt, get angry and irritable and upset throughout our lifetimes? Because it's so frustrating when you really don't know who and what you are. A quote from Osho: "You are born with a tremendous possibility of intelligence. You are birthed with a light within you. Listen to the still small voice within that will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. You are utterly irreplaceable." It's a difficult, a lot of people, it's all about information. It's all about proper, correct information. Legit information. A quote from Deepak Chopra is a great one. "In order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it." How many people do that? Do they relinquish their attachment? No, they don't. Now, this doesn't mean that you give up your intention to create your desire. And you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. We attach ourselves to the result. What does that mean? Well, we attach ourselves to the result by saying, well, then I'll be able to do this, and this. That's attachment to the outcome. But when you don't have the attachment, and you just let it go, and you got the confidence, faith, and trust, and you aren't doubting, it's a done deal. Period. It's a done deal. It's like, who wouldn't like to manifest a life that is abundant with love, filled with peace, and overflowing with positive feelings? Do you know anybody that wouldn't? I believe all of us would want that. We can create a deeply nourishing, healing life for ourselves. And it isn't that hard. It isn't that hard at all. The trick begins with the decision we make to master our mind. To be willing to make peace for a feeling of mastery of it in this lifetime. And often the mind thinks like a beggar. And it cannot tap into the vast infinite realm of resources that are everywhere around it. It is only when the mind stops seeking, starts relaxing into itself, that it becomes rooted in the most empowered, authentic, and divine expression of who we truly are, and can manifest whatever we want with effortless ease. It's an art. It is an art form. Manifesting is an art form. And a metaphysical, beyond physical, science, which deals with how naturally and effortlessly we can allow our desires to show up in the physical world. Allow our desires. Basically, manifesting just happens when you get crystal clear on what it is that we want. Remove any limiting negative thoughts about receiving it. What is that? That's that doubt. Okay? Hold the attention that it's now coming our way, and take massive inspired actions following our intuition. Manifesting is not difficult to do for any of us. In fact, all of us manifest things every day without realizing we are doing it. And I know this sounds, I've used this analogy before. I know, some people go, oh, well, But it's like, use an example, right? Say you want a pizza. You're at home. Call the pizza guy and it's delivered hot and fresh to your door in 15 minutes. For the most part. Right? Yet, when it comes to bigger desires that feel beyond our realm of resources, we tend to fall into old limiting belief systems that stop us from believing that our dreams are possible. Anything's possible. There isn't anything that isn't possible. It's all possible. You know why we say it's possible? It just depends on the varying perspectives and how you think and feel about you. And it's like, when you become a manifesting master, because everyone will on this call, and everyone that listens to this call, will become a master manifester. Now, when you do that, in this life, it's learning how to live in a state of detachment from the mind. This means that you realize that you are not these desires or thoughts that pour through the mind. Yet, you are the witness and consciousness behind it all. Detachment in this sense does not mean indifference, apathy, or lacking excitement for your desires. It's not a feeling of disconnection, isolation, or some strategy for creating a false, disconnected state so that you can later achieve your desire and become momentarily happy. Having the intention to manifest a desire and being detached from the outcome, as I have said, is a very fine, thin line to walk. And learning to dance along it makes you into a manifesting master. Everything we want in this life will manifest effortlessly from this place of healthy detachment. It is a spiritual practice from feeling connected to the infinite source in all things, who we truly are. From this deeply connected space, we don't need to become attached to any thought or thing. This type of detachment comes simply from quieting your mind, chatter, connecting with your heart and soul. Your soul is already perfectly aligned with this entire universe, inherently abundant, extremely confident, and deeply at ease with all aspects of yourself. And when you are in tune with your soul, you feel relaxed, centered, and can find stillness within your body. Your mind is then delighted here, lives in a state of gratitude for all that is, and are okay with any result that may or may not occur. So it's like this. You want something. Could be anything. Relationship, you name it, it's all across the board. Whatever it is. Right? Now, you can say to yourself, you're very excited about receiving this. Okay? But you also know that, and that you clearly know that if it doesn't happen for you, it's okay. Okay? That's detachment. You're not wishing it. You're not sending out doubt. You've got confidence, faith, and trust in yourself and the universe, but you're not attached to it. Oh, what am I going to do if that doesn't come in? Man, that's got to happen for me. That's attachment. The flip side is that you let it go. It doesn't mean, like I said, you're excited, you believe it's going to take place, but you're okay either way. And what do you think happens in that state? It comes in. When we recognize state, your mind is then in a state, it's then delighted, right? And lives in a state of gratitude for all that is, and are okay with any result that may occur or may not occur. Most of us go, oh, wow, boy, that's going to, I can't wait for this. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. And you're okay either way. You got the excitement. You don't have any doubt, and you leave it alone. And that's the practice of being a master manifester. The inability to be detached is the main the inability to be detached is the main hindrance to manifesting our desires. When we are super clear about what we want in this life, and we have no resistance to receiving it, our desire will manifest within a very short time. Yet, if we feel disconnected from our soul, we need the outcome to find happiness and inner peace, and the body falls lower in vibration. We feel we need to work overtime to arrive at our destination and live from a place of stress inside. When we are vibrating at a higher soul level, it's actually effortless to manifest any outcome or circumstance. Basically shows up in your life because we are so connected and thus available to it. True detachment for any of us is a very advanced state to live from, because you are allowing yourself to be absorbed in a deep trust with this life. You are totally surrendered to this connection with your highest power and infinite creative energy within. There is no need to try to achieve any outcome or fall into a state of lack or neediness about anything anymore. You know you already have success to an infinite resource of intelligent power, which can attract everything you need. You are simply happy within yourself and your life as it is, and you can feel it to the core of your bones. Now, the more you can practice relaxing into your soul, the more you naturally open yourself to this meeting with the magical manifesting world around you. Through the deepest release and sweetest surrender, you find your personal intimate connection with the all-intelligent, all-powerful, deeply eternal, loving, creative source, God, that flows through us all. The more we practice this, you establish a relationship with it and eventually find real peace with everything that occurs. There is no need to worry, hope, or fear anything in the future. You simply feel connected to this entire universe in all its glory and awesome power, and can feel okay with every single thing that occurs. And by spending time developing your intimate connection with the source that flows through every breath you take, every movement you make, you begin to feel it is everywhere you are. And from this ever-present state, you just know you are always on the right path and can never make a mistake. You stop believing in coincidences because you know that each moment is perfect, divinely synchronized, and contains the magical resources to manifest any desire you wish to materialize. Manifesting then turns into this fun, creative, mysterious spiritual game to enjoy, instead of some serious achievement affair where positive results are needed to make you happy. These are a few of the signs that you are on the path to becoming a manifesting master. Very simple quote from Buddha, Siddhartha. Attachment leads to suffering. It is a good thing to remember that attachment is the number one cause of suffering in this world. People not wanting to let go of power, not wanting to let go of money, not wanting to let go of control, all this stuff. Attachment, 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 attachment. Number one cause of suffering in this world. Whenever we are suffering about anything on a mental, emotional, or physical level, okay, it is certain that we are attached to some thought inside ourselves about something. Attachment, in the most raw definition, means we cannot surrender to trust and let go. We can be afraid of losing anything in life, all based on our wounding and karma from the past. When we discover how to trust in the state of detachment, we find the spiritual state of connection, and our manifesting abilities ascend to an entirely new level. Attachment is a form of poverty consciousness, which stems out of feeling disconnected to our spiritual source. Out of desperation, we attach ourselves to certain thoughts, beliefs, people, and habits, and hope that a certain positive source-like feeling will manifest, bring in all the happiness, satisfaction we were missing. This approach is obviously coming from ego, that fearful, needy place which deep down is neglecting and ignoring its innate connection to source. The ego is always desperate, always trying to make you feel secure, because it's too busy to relax into the deeply eternal loving source that is here now. The great cosmic joke, of course, is that the source is always right here, right now, and always available to tap into. When you become free from the mind's attachment to anything, you start feeling the infinite love and energy within this source, and know exactly how easy it is to manifest any life you desire. When you are not attached to the mind and are feeling connected to your soul, your core identity remains centered with the infinite source instead of your ego. You realize that you are the source of love, peace, and empowerment. It is not found outside you, yet from within. From this enlightened space, your ego takes a step down and simply feels grateful for life just as it is. Then this universe seems to hand over every wish, want, and desire you have. It does this for mere joy of feeling your heart soften more and see the smile on your face become bigger. The only time to surrender, and the only time surrender is not, is in the presence of ego. Love does not resist itself because there is no thing outside it to resist. Just make peace with the mind in every moment and you will experience total bliss. Angela Walker. Most of us fight the mind. Constant tug of war, constant. Boy, it can become very taxing. Behind every fear, anxiety, and pain, what do you think is hiding? Attachment. If or when you are unsure where it is, or what exactly you are attached to in this life, just check your body. Remember, the body never lies. A feeling of tension, clenching, or anxiety always. You know, I learned a long time ago that people, you know your shoulders? You don't realize it because you're doing this, you're doing that. And you don't, if you stop and focus on the breath, you realize that your shoulders are kind of up a little bit. They're not just down or relaxed. You don't let the body go. You don't sink into the body. And so this is one thing to be aware of. You'll be amazed. Not everybody, because they'll hold it in other areas. But a lot of us hold it in the shoulders. Cervical spine, the neck, and the shoulders. And then it goes on from there. So you drop your shoulders. Just drop them consciously. Let it go. We're way too tense as a people. Way too tense. So the feeling of tension, clenching, or anxiety always appears. The body. Talk with that part of your body. Listen to it closely for a few minutes. And eventually, you will notice a message inside the tense, tight, or contracted sensation. And the more you understand the reason for these attachments, the easier it is to step back from them and not buy into their story. Freedom from attachment is a healing process for all of us. When we are truly free, it means we will have tons of extra time. Love, energy, to consciously manifest the life your heart really desires. This process to shift out of any attachment is this. First, to identify where it is located in the body. Breathe into the tight sensation. Feel the pain. Listen to its story. Let go of its story. Relax into the source behind it all. And repeat until the tension story are gone. It helps to remember that happiness does not depend on anything in the outer world. Yet your love of surrender to your heart's connected to the source within. Your level of surrender to your heart's connected to the source within. The more often you practice this surrender, the less chance you will ever get attached to anything again. Every moment is an opportunity to release those hidden attachments, stopping you from manifesting your dreams, yet sometimes they are tricky to find. Now, if you're accustomed to living with stress and tension each day, and your mind is loud, is too loud to hear what its message is for you, simply look inside yourself and ask, who is attached? Where do I feel I am lacking in my life that is causing me to be overly hooked into this particular thought, belief, assumption, or outcome? What is that missing part of me that desperately needs X, Y, Z to manifest in order for me to be happy? It is vital to remember that it is always your mind that is attached and not you. You are not your mind. You are the soul, who is eternal, infinite, unbounded, and cannot be attached to anything. Now, the more clear we can become about what we are attached to in this life and why, the more enlightened we become. When we can identify the lacking feelings we are holding on to, we stop blaming this world for how we feel and reclaim our power again. Seeing what actually is creating our need for attachment is the key to unleashing our freedom. The limiting feelings we regurgitate about ourselves are the secret gateways to forming new paradigms of being and seeing reality. We have the power within ourselves to release our blocks right now and thus attract any desired outcome in this life that we choose. We no longer need to engage in states of unnecessary suffering ever again. You are given the gifts of the gods. You create your reality according to your beliefs. Yours is the creative energy that makes your world. There are no limitations to the self except those you believe in. That. My invitation for you this week is to recognize all your attachments each day and let them go. Breathe into your body so deeply that there is no more room for the mind to enter. Be free from the mind. Let yourself feel into the still, calm, ever-loving source that is beneath all needy feeling. Whenever you feel stuck, just ask the magic question. What am I attached to? It's that simple. As soon as you see it, let it go by simply making the choice to surrender to trusting in something much greater than you. This could very well be the week to practice saying goodbye to every limiting belief that you are attached to and choose to find real freedom in your life. Reconnect with your soul, the infinite presence in you, and be free from all attachments forever. That's like right there. Misery does not exist in reality, but only in mere imagination. Sri Ramana Maharishi. See, ask yourself, how much confidence do I have in myself? I mean, really take this in. Don't superficialize it. Take it deep within. Ask yourself, how much confidence do I have, true confidence, in yourself? It's one of the most effective ways to manifest anything in our lives is having true confidence in ourselves and in the dream life we desire to have. When you're feeling great about yourself, right, you're sending out a powerful, positive vibe into this world, which comes back to you in the form of amazing opportunities, more abundance, and positive relationships. Having self-confidence is like a magic wand in your pocket. You pull it out whenever you want. And feel that you do have the power to miraculously manifest anything you can imagine. See, and this is what happens eventually with all of us, okay? It just happens in the course of a lifetime that our soul yearns to mature. So your soul, all of our souls, yearn to mature deeply within itself. And to do this, it must attract a super challenging situation that will teach us to look deeper inside and find where the source of everlasting confidence comes from. Somebody will get angry at us, become disappointed in us, start neglecting, ignoring, and even physically and emotionally abuse us. If we become identified with the negative experience, we can feel bad about ourselves, this world, and shrink our perception of this amazing being we truly are. We continue for years to identify with the bad feelings and story around the trauma. We will develop a sense of low self-esteem, and the confidence we had within ourselves will weaken. You've been traumatized in your life. Goodness gracious, you're not alone. Most of us have some major form of wounding we are dealing with. We all have the choice in how we deal with it. And this path is what leads us to healing and freedom. The path of creating more confidence in ourselves, being with practicing, trusting, and loving ourselves all day long, being gentle with who you are. As the more often you love you, the more valuable, lovable, and precious you feel in this world. When you can allow yourself to feel lovable, you start respecting yourself and the gifts you have to give to this world. You feel valuable, worthy of more love. You stop thinking about how unlovable you are or comparing yourself with others, believing that they are better than you. Now, if and when we continue to dwell on and focus upon our wounding, only feeling that we are lacking, needing, or feeling not enough in our lives, then we stop having time for loving, approving, and appreciating who we are. When self-love is not happening on a daily basis, it opens the ground for the wound to fester, the lower self-confidence to root inside. We do not establish a new perception or thinking pattern inside ourselves. We might just live our entire lives believing we are never good enough and feel as if life is one long hell ride of being dragged from the cradle to the grave. Great quote from Lao Tzu. When I let go of who I am, I become what I might be. It's good to know that there are two basic types of self-confidence that we can tap into. The first is a transient state of ego confidence that will come and go because it's based in holding on to thoughts which always come and go. The mind attempts to grip firmly onto a strong positive idea about who you are, and then you feel good about you. This strategy will work for a certain measure of time. Yet eventually, I am a powerful, confident person will shift to I am weak and helpless, pathetic person when the great cyclone of life rips through. Whenever we hold too tightly onto any idea about who we are or who we are not, we soon see that life will challenge the strength of this idea. If our ideas about ourselves are flexible, we'll tend to bend when life attempts to break us. The limbs of a large oak tree tend to crack in a big windstorm, while the flexible bamboo tree yields to the fierce pressure and cyclone intensity. And eventually, whenever any idea is shaken, cracked, or destroyed about ourselves, the ego comes crashing down, burying itself in the dark valley of insecurity and powerlessness, and then has to rebuild its inner structure again and again and again. Quote from Ramana Rishi: there is no use removing doubts one by one. If we clear one doubt, another doubt will arise, and there will be no end of doubts. But if by seeing or seeking the doubter is found to be really non-existent, then all doubts will cease. Now, the second type of confidence is a spiritual confidence, which has nothing to do with ideas, beliefs, identity, or ego. This level of confidence stems from a perpetual discovery of one's wonderful spiritual essence. It is an unveiling of the spiritual truth of who you are, without labels, without judgment, mask, or coverings of any kind. Our true spiritual nature is tapped into an infinite source of love, and this love is deeply eternal. You naturally feel confident about life because you are feeling into the very source of love which always abides at the core of your being. By simply feeling into your deepest core, you find this spiritual connection is there. It is gentle relaxation and effortless surrender into your deepest truth without words. There is a divine energy there, a conscious being who is beautiful, brilliant, and incredibly powerful. This naturally sacred being doesn't need to prove itself. Its beaming joy is self-evident and is quiet about how amazing and boundless it is. From this space, there is nobody who needs confidence or fears that someone is lacking confidence. All you see and feel is the shining light that you are. Small, powerless shadow self instantly disappears in the essence of this bright light, leaving no sense of separation from this life. And the pendulum stays swinging from feeling superior to being inferior. Perhaps the most vital piece of information that will help you remain in the state of perpetual self-confidence is that it is ridiculously easy and truly effortless to experience it. Everlasting confidence is our natural, effortless essence and is continuously radiating at the core of our being. We do not have to do anything to entice the sun to shine brighter. It is already here, shining perfectly bright enough. The sun is a perfect example of who we are, who you are. It is always radiating its light onto the world. It is naturally self-effulgent, perfectly warm to bring about life. It simply cannot be improved upon. This is exactly the way you are. A great quote from Osho that I think is phenomenal at this time on this planet. Everybody wants to be extraordinary. That is the search of the ego, to be someone who is special, unique, and incomparable. This is the paradox. The more you try to be exceptional, the more ordinary you look, because everyone is after extraordinariness. It is such an ordinary desire. The very search to be ordinary is actually extraordinary, because rarely does somebody want to be a nobody. Rarely does somebody want to be a hollow, empty space. Yet, this is really extraordinary because nobody wants it. So when you become ordinary, you actually become extraordinary. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. This universe is lending you a helping hand. In fact, this universe is always conspiring in your favor. Wants you to be happy and oh so successful. You are supported every step along your path. Simply relax deeply into this knowing. See the magic that unfolds. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Friday, June 14, 2024. We'll after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And also around 9:15 p.m. or so Eastern, our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal gratitude at all times. Open your heart, let the magic flow in.